start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Kazakhstan American Corners and Regional English Language Office Program, English Teaching Workshops number 3. I'm Saltnat, American Coordinator in Nur-Sultan and moderator for today. So today we'll talk about the American English online resources for professional development and classroom use. Like always, I would like to remind you about our rules. First of all, for stable connection, like I said in Russian in the beginning, please turn off your microphone when you're not using it. Then, sorry. Yep. Again, please turn off your microphone if you're not using it. The second one, if you have any questions, you can ask them in chat box during the meeting or at the end of the meeting during the Q&A. I mean, question and answers. Then don't be shy, be active, ask questions. The meeting is being recorded, and to attend, I mean, when you attend at least 3 of out 5 sessions, you'll receive official certificates. Great. Now I'd like to hand you over to our virtual English language fellow, U.S. Department of State Program in Nur-Sultan, Mr. August Garnsey. Thank you and enjoy it.
All right. Thank you, Sultanat. So good evening, Kazakhstan. Good evening, everyone out there, fellow English language teaching professionals or educators, and also students as well. Thank you for joining us today here. You can probably see the decoration in the back. Yes, it is Thanksgiving Day today in our holiday here in the US. Let me go ahead and share my screen and pull everything up here. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. And Sultanat, can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, we can see. Thank you.
All right, great. Okay, so like I mentioned, so happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. You can see from my picture here, you know, the jokes always about turkeys today. It's Turkey Day. You know, one other thing though that, you know, I know a lot of you probably know of and heard about, talked about maybe in your lessons about holidays around the world, specifically US holidays. But you know, one fact that maybe a lot of you do not know about Thanksgiving is that it's also what's associated with Thanksgiving, in addition to turkey, is American football. So this is a very big tradition for many, many years. Typically, families will watch like all day long. There will be American football games. We often will associate a specific sport with a specific holiday in the US. So just want to share that little tidbit like that about American football. All right. So for those of you that are new, thank you for joining us. For those returning that have been at previous workshops, either the first or the second one, thank you again for joining us again. We really appreciate it, and it builds to our collaborative knowledge base here when I ask questions. As Sultanat mentioned, so I am the virtual English language fellow here for Nur-Sultan. Currently, I am an instructor of graduate and undergraduate courses locally in Nur-Sultan. Well, now I'm doing it virtually for Eurasian National University, as well as I work with the English Access Micro Scholarship students as well across Kazakhstan. Now, previously, for those of you that are new, that my experience in Kazakhstan, I am not new to Kazakhstan, so I was an English language teacher, or an international English language teacher at NISH, or as I say, NIS, Kokshetau. So those are my former colleagues from Kokshetau. Hello to all of you. All right. So, and again, I've had so many great experiences in Kazakhstan to date. You know, so when I speak to you, I really try to think practically about, in the context always of Kazakhstan, about everything. The past couple workshops, always trying to show you what can you do with it regarding specific curriculum or topics, you know, in Kazakhstan right now. So again, that's always kind of a point of emphasis within all my workshops. So again, just some of the many great memories and things I have. Hopefully I have many more. I can't wait to get back to Kazakhstan, and hopefully be able to work face to face with a lot of you. All right. So our session today is American English online resources for professional development and classroom use. And so today in the session, we're going to, you will learn to, identify what is American English. You're going to learn to navigate the American English website and main areas of content, to recognize specific online resources that can be used in online or face-to-face lessons, find and use tools for professional development in either a collaborative or an individual setting, and to utilize a Webquest activity and explore the American English website and its online resources through a practical demo. I love Webquests, and I will talk about that towards the end of our session here. So let's go and begin. All right. So to start with here in Sultanat, I'll ask for your assistance here in for the chat. I'm going to pose a few questions here, one at a time, and I want everyone to just go ahead and provide your response to the question. Okay. So here's the first question. Can everybody see the question on the screen, Sultanat?
Yes, we see it,
Okay.
and I will read it actually.
Yeah. So
Yes.
So what do you know about American English online resources? So go ahead and put that into your chat.
Yep, dear participants, please write on the chat. There is no need to use your microphone. I hope you understand, because here's a lot of participants and we can't hear like all of you. Sorry for that. Just write on the chat. Okay, let's see what we have. Just a second. Here are the answers. Voice of America, somebody said. It is a web page that provides with free resources for students and teachers. Someone don't know nothing. I mean, the answer is nothing, unfortunately. Not so much. Teachers, pay teachers. Then, wow, answers be too fast. I can put it, like, give me some second, one moment. A lot of teaching materials for all levels. Forums, do Kahoot, Quizlet, TED Education. Is it American English resources, they're asking? So there are a lot of different useful resources and apps.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Salta, for that. So what I can tell from that is, so some of you may know of some things, and then there may be a lot of you that may be more limited in your understanding or knowledge of what is available to you, and that's perfect. Okay, that's great. Here's the next question. So for those of you that do have experience, what resources have you used before in your lesson from American English?
The second question. Let's see the answers. I think the answers that I have now, it's still for the first question, like I like USA English. Kahoot, somebody said. Academic writing book. VOA, it's from American Voice, right? Kahoot, New English Word Skills, TED Talks. Somebody use it very fluently, it's saying. Yeah, the magazine forum. Crazy. Learning. We're saying about American English, but I have an answer like Learning English British Council.
Okay. I mean, so maybe the answers are getting pretty kind of wild into the chat there, and that's okay. So maybe a few of you did mention a few things, and I hope that by the end, you'll be able to take away some specific stuff that you can actually use. Here's another question. This is very specific. So what resources have you used for professional development from American English? I'm curious if anybody knows of anything that they've used specifically for professional development for themselves.
I like the honest answers, like, I don't know, I don't use it, but thank you for
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay, because I wasn't really expecting a lot of you to know what maybe I even mean by professional development using American English online resources. Okay.
Let's see.
So that way, and that's okay. We're going to be exploring American English here in these online resources today, because I really want people to understand first off what is American English itself. So, because I've seen some answers that actually things that have nothing to do actually with American English. So, I'm going to actually go ahead and skip this last question, I think, and move forward here. So, basically, I do have a little survey that I want everybody to complete. Okay, so this is also going to be important to collectively understand, who are we together here participating today, and as well as, to make sure that we have your name accurate for the certificate purposes on here. So do please make sure everybody goes in and fills out. I will put the link into the chat here right now. Okay.
So yeah, dear participants, it's important because I already have a privately conversation over here about how you will know that I'm participating and how I will get a certificate. This is the perfect chance to fill out your name and surname. It's very important.
Okay. Let me try it again one more time. Oops.
Yes, we will send the link. Mr. August already doing it.
There we go. Okay, so I went ahead and put the link into the chat for everyone in the meeting to be able to access that link now. So again, all of you go ahead, please, and complete that one. Okay, so now let me go ahead and share again the screen. Okay. All right. And now does every Sultanat, do you see my slide again? Okay. Uh, so now what I want to do is I want to actually introduce and explain to you American English, because I think we have a lot of people that may be very unfamiliar with the site itself. So let me explain it and also just show you just a few points of navigation. We're going to do much more exploring later on in the session, but I just want to just give you the basics right now, okay? So let me go ahead and pull up the actual site now itself. Okay. All right.
Sorry for bothering you, but I think it will be better if you make a bigger screen. So now it's not a big one.
Okay.
Full
let's
one.
see. Yeah, it's let's see. Let me go ahead and share. Okay. And do you see the actual American English website now, Sultanat?
You mean the link?
No, no.
No,
do you see the
it's fine.
website?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's website.
Okay. So that way, so everyone, so this is the American English website. So americanenglish.state.gov. So American English is an actual specific um, thing for language learning resources, resources for teachers, for educators, resources for professional development for educators. It's not just learning American English, as in like British English, American English. The actual name of it is American English. It is from the US Department of State, okay, for their educational programs that they provide. This is something that is shared worldwide, and there's a ton of resources available to you through the American English website here. Okay, I just want to point out to you just a few of the key tabs right here. Okay, so there's three of them. Okay, to make sure that everybody's following. There's the first tab is about us. From this tab here, basically you can find information about programs for yourself or programs for your learners in Kazakhstan. Okay, so these are like exchange programs and opportunities for you or for your learners. Okay, you can also find contact information as well as information regarding the various social media accounts that you can follow for American English. There are some different ones depending on ones that cater more towards English language learners and ones that cater more towards educators. Okay, the next tab here is going to be resources. This is where you're going to find the bulk of a lot of all your materials that I know that you're interested in looking for. Everything can be here, from anything regarding the 4 skills to things that regard US culture. If you're looking for games, there's a link here for all of the many webinars, American English produces many great webinars for English language teaching, focusing on methodology, techniques, trends, skills and things that you can use to develop yourself and then integrate into your lessons here in Kazakhstan. It's made for a global audience. There's a fantastic amount of things that we'll kind of explore later. MOOCs, massive open online courses. Now, I just want to let everyone know that there is actually a new site now open. So if you do actually click on this link, there's another link that will redirect you to the open site for another task later. I hope to introduce to you open as well. And a couple other things here in resources, English Club Text, comics for language learning, and also one of my favorites, Teacher's Corner, where you can find materials and advice for English language teaching. Okay, so this is the bulk of like a lot of the materials right there in resources. And the last tab is English Teaching Forum. This is actually a magazine. It's a quarterly journal that's published by the US Department of State. It's published for a global audience, distributed all across the world. It's made by teachers for teachers, and its focus is on practicality. Everything in here is things contained with all the content in this magazine is things that you can realistically use in your lessons. Again, so it focuses on practical application of methods, techniques, technology, things like that into your own lessons. Okay, so that's English Teaching Forum magazine. Okay, so again, that's a quarterly journal that's published by the US Department of State. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you in regards to for navigation purposes. Basically, those are just the main points. Now, through your own self exploration, you need to kind of go through these individual tabs and all these other things yourself. I have a task to help assist us in that. But before I get to a little bit more about where we can explore this website together, I want to just highlight a few specific things so you can see examples of the types of resources that I'm talking about that you can integrate into your lessons right now in Kazakhstan. Okay. So let me go ahead actually and pull up. Okay. And I'll make it a larger screen here. Okay. Sultanat, can you see my slide?
I think I need a little bit more time.
Okay. Hold on.
So ready your site.
Yeah, hold on 1 moment. Okay. All right. Do you see it now here?
Yep. Now it's your PPT with some of the resources.
All right. Okay. So basically on this slide and the next slide, I have a list of a few specific highlighted resources because so I showed you a few of the navigation points and I want to show you a few examples now. So you know exactly the types of resources that are available. Maybe these resources just let you know, for those of you that do have experience with American English, maybe these are some of the resources that you may not know about. And I feel that these are all really great specific sources that you could use. So basically in this list, and I'm going to actually pull up each screen for you and show you. So I'm just going to go ahead and state everything in the list. I'm going to show you the Reader's Guide from Forum Magazine. I'm going to show you the American English Teaching Tips video series through their YouTube channel. Okay, I'm going to show you American Teens Talk, Activate Game series, a collection of the lighter side of TEFL. Okay, I will also show you the American English at State Facebook page, the VOA Voices of America podcasts. Okay, it's a special thing within the American English site. And also something that I think could be really a lot of fun is the Sing Out Loud series, children's songs and traditional songs. Okay, so let me go ahead and flip over and just show you those specific highlighted resources to give you a few examples. Okay. Let's see here. Go ahead and pull up again. All right. Okay. Let me go ahead and do screen share again.
August, could I answer for one question from the chat? Because they're asking about, could you share with us the PPT? And our answer is yes. We'll share it lately. We'll send it to your Gmail or email.
Okay. And also just kind of let people know too as well. I heard from a couple of participants in this session just before that potentially the email from American Corner may have gone to your promotions or maybe even possibly your spam box. Basically, in your email, if you have like Gmail, just move it over into like your primary, like your inbox. And then therefore going forward, everything should go directly to your inbox. So again, yeah, we'll send out the PowerPoint to everyone, but look in like your promotions or maybe your spam box because it actually may be there, and you may need to adjust that one to make sure it starts going to your inbox. Okay, that's just a little tip for everybody. Okay, so that was so the resources here. So now what I want to show you, um, I'll just gonna quickly go through it, okay? Because we have a very limited amount of time, and I want us to be able to explore the site a little bit more deeper. So the very first thing, like I mentioned, is going to be the English Teaching Forum Reader's Guide. So basically, you'll click on English Teaching Forum. Let's just go and click on Current Issue. Let's just go and pull that one up right now. Okay. All right. And so basically, each issue is going to pull up like a table of contents, and there's these expand buttons, these pluses off to the side. The reader's guide is going to be typically right after the main kind of articles, the main bulk of like the content in the specific issue of Forum magazine. Okay, so if you click on the expand button for reader's guide, and you can just click on the text for the PDF, and it's going to go ahead and pull it up. Okay. Sultanat, can you see the reader's guide?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that way, the reader's guide, just kind of keep this short. So in each issue of Forum magazine, there's a few like kind of like main articles, that, they're maybe about 5 to 6 pages in length, and they focus on methodology, techniques, trends, current issues, things going on, things that are practical that potentially can help you in your lesson. Now, one of the things about a magazine or about like any kind of journal for English language teaching is sometimes when we pick it up and read it, maybe we have a hard time trying to, process some of the information, digest that information to be able to think critically or reflect on the information that we read. Sometimes it can be challenging. Again, this magazine is made by English language teachers for English language teachers in a global audience focusing on practicality. Okay. Now, the reader's guide, basically, you're going to see a section for each article that was in that specific issue. So, for example, let's just focus on this one right here. Okay. So, that way, what you see is it's broken into two sections. It's broken down into pre-reading and post-reading questions. What is this for? It's to help guide you through the reading and understanding process and reflection process and critical thinking process of each article in the issue. So that way it's the pre-reading questions. So basically you would, take a look at these questions, and it would help you to activate, your prior knowledge or things that would be potentially helpful to think about before you get into reading. Just like with our lessons and our learners, it's always important to activate any kind of prior knowledge to bring in that experience. This will help prepare you for it. Then you would read the article, and then you would do the post-reading questions. This is going to help guide your critical thinking and your reflection process. Okay. Now, here's a twist that I want to share. Sure, you can do this kind of professional development individually, or what's better, teacher to teacher engagement. Think about this situation, guys. You can do this collaboratively, so you invite and gather a few of your colleagues from your department at your school, and you get together, whether face to face or online, okay, and go through the pre-reading questions, collectively activate your knowledge, share amongst each other before you read. And then everybody goes home, everybody reads the article. Then maybe you meet a couple of days later, and then together again, you'll go through the post-reading questions. And as a group now, critical thinking wise, you can tackle maybe issues that are addressed in the article that apply to your school or your department. So this is how you can use the reader's guide for professional development in an individual or collaborative or group setting. Okay. Let me quickly kind of go through a couple other things because, I don't want to spend too much time with this one because I want to get to our next task. Okay. So the next thing I want to bring up And Sultanat, do you see when I switch these tabs, do you see what I'm sharing here for teaching tips?
YouTube page.
Great. So that way, so everyone, this is the American English YouTube channel. Okay, so that way, do please go out and subscribe and like their content on their YouTube channel for American English. Specifically, though, I'm highlighting a specific playlist that focuses on teaching tips for English language teachers. In this playlist, wow, I mean, there's 37 videos ranging from 5 to 7 minutes focusing on different types of teaching tips. This is a great way, especially maybe over like the holidays, to sit down and just kind of go through and maybe refresh some potential ways that you've been handling things, certain processes in your classroom where you can learn new techniques that can maybe help better situate you for maybe even like online learning for the next term coming up, okay? But again, so here's a nice group of teaching tip videos. Here's another great resource that I really want to emphasize that I think a lot of you do not know about. It's called American Teens Talk, okay? So what's really special about this is, just to let you know what it is, it's a collection of authentic, real interviews with actual American teenagers. Okay. One thing I got to say is that I do feel that there may not be a lot of authentic material or dialogues or content specifically catering to our teenage English language learners in Kazakhstan. Teens want to know what other teens are saying or thinking in different countries, providing them dialogues that may be more suitable for younger learners. They're more basic, more simple in nature, and then there's dialogues that maybe are a little too sophisticated that focus on adult themed topics that would be better for maybe higher education. So where do teens fit? Where can you find appropriate, authentic content? American Teens Talk. No matter what kind of framework you follow, whether it's like TESOL's, 6 principles for effective English language teaching, typically in whatever framework you use and follow, knowing your learners is always like at the foundation of any framework for effective English language teaching. And you really need to know your learners and what they're interested in and what they want to talk about. So for instance, what do teenage English language learners in Kazakhstan, what are they interested in? Hey, for example, last year, Brawl Stars, games, they were interested in that. This year, what? Among Us, guys, we need to, as educators, know our learners, what they're interested in, how we can engage them. Of course, we should maybe modify content if you feel there's elements not appropriate, but still, we can't deny our learners, content or topics or things that they're really interested in. So, for example, here, let me just pull up one of the interviews. Bianca, okay? So, for every interview here, you have the audio and you have a text that goes with it. Let me just pull up the text here to show you. So, with Bianca specifically, there's a picture of the interview. It's a real person, okay? This isn't just make believe. These were actual real people, okay? So, what does Bianca think? What does she say? It's really great, authentic type of language, things that teens would really want to talk about. There's words that are covered that maybe are unfamiliar, and there's always discussion questions at the very bottom. And they do this for every interview, okay? Again, and there's just like, I mean, look at all the interviews. There's so much potential authentic context here that you can use in your lessons, okay? And then there's always the audio track that you could potentially download as well too, okay? Let me just kind of speed up a little bit more here. I'm just going to quickly kind of mention these. Activate Game Series, another great source for content. What's special about this is first, all these games are great to put into your lessons. There's 4 different categories. Let me just show you board games specifically, okay? So if you click on board games, it's going to pull up a bunch of different board games. Each one of these is a different theme board game. So board games are great. The board games focus on, students producing orally specific like language chunks. Some of the other ones focus on using cards, descriptive language, or building sentences. But board games focus on producing, orally language chunks. With each game, you get I'll show you here. You get the board itself, and then you get the instructions. And it's like that for every game, all the games in here. But again, there's dozens of games that you can use in your own lessons. Um, Another thing to mention, if you are looking maybe for some potential smaller activities, the lighter side of TEFL is a great collection. The lighter side of TEFL is basically comes from the Forum magazine. It's a section within it that focuses on smaller activities, maybe typically for practice, not major type of like entire lesson type of activities. For example, word games, crossword puzzles, idioms. I know in Kazakhstan, a lot of us like to introduce and share about idioms. So that way, if you go and you click on the word games, okay, and you pull it up, it's a document that's almost 100 pages long, okay, and there is tons of games that you can use in here in your lessons. Again, just want to briefly show it to you, but you can kind of explore on your own. Another thing quickly to share would be uh, American English at State Facebook page. There's different Facebook pages. This one here specifically is more for English language learners. There's American English for Educators, which focuses on teachers. Maybe you've used it before to watch like the live teacher development webinar series that American English produces. Okay, but so this one focuses more on English language learning, but you can still find great themes, topics, questions, characters, discussions that you can use in your lessons as well on the site. Um, Another thing I want to highlight, Voices of America podcasts. And with each podcast here, you get the audio and also the text to go along with it. And the last thing I want to highlight is the Sing Out Loud series. They have one for children's songs and also traditional songs. The main thing I want to emphasize here is because, yeah, there's a lot of songs on the internet that you can find, and there's a lot of songs that you can download and get lyrics. But what's great about all these songs here is not only do you get the audio, not only do you get the lyrics, but every single one of these songs has a visual, a poster that you can use to also support your learners with in this one. So it's not just having them listen to it. It's not about them just reading the lyrics, but visually they can actually see this poster, and every single poster goes along. It has images, elements, things that would be better for the learners to help understand that song. So that's what's really nice. So every single one of these songs has the audio, the text, and the poster that goes along with it. It's a nice thing. Okay. All right. So I know that was a lot of different resources I threw at you. Again, I will make the PowerPoint available to you. So that way, Sultanate and American Corner, Nursultan, we will follow up and we will send out the email. So don't worry, we will get those links out to you for all these wonderful, great online resources. Okay. So now, actually, what I want to do, okay, let me actually go ahead and stop sharing for just a moment. All right, so that way, what I want to share with you now actually is another task actually that I have for us. Okay, let me go ahead and make it full screen again here. Okay, so it's easier. All right, and Sultanat, can you see my slide about Webquests?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I want to introduce everybody this activity and this task here. This is something that American English, it's not just specifically associated with American English. Okay. So maybe some of you have heard of a WebQuest. Maybe some of you have used a WebQuest before. What is a WebQuest? What do I mean about this? A WebQuest, it's an inquiry-based activity. So basically what you do is you're going to provide your learners with access to online resources to the internet. Maybe there's a specific site or something that you want them to explore, hence like American English. This is a great way for them to, to deliver a lesson over the web. Why? Because it emphasizes the student's role in the learning process. That's what I mean by inquiry based. Okay. So this is a way to move from passive learning to more active learning. WebQuests are discovery learning tools. You could use them in the beginning to kind of explore a brand new topic, maybe, or in the end as an assessment. Webquests are great for promoting collaboration among students. They can do this in teams and pairs. Of course, it helps to increase competency in technology. Again, it transforms lessons from passive learning to more active learning, which stimulates more cognition skills. Okay, Webquests are great just showing slides on a PowerPoint, very passive, maybe pulling up and demoing some kind of website or information online, a little bit more active, still kind of passive, but actually having them take an active role in their learning process through a web quest, most active type of learning. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to actually share with you an actual web quest because I think it's a fantastic thing for all of you to use, especially with online learning. And now that everybody has like a digital device in front of them through their lessons, it's even better now to even do web quests. So I'm actually going to pull up a form that I created. So let me go ahead and actually pull up this form here right now. Okay. Okay, hold on one moment. Okay, while I pull this one up. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen here for this. Okay. All right, Sultanat, do you see kind of an American flag and all blue screen?
Full form, yep.
Okay, so everyone. So what I want everyone to do here, and we don't have a lot of time, and we had a limited amount of time within this hour here, but I want us to spend maybe at least about 15 minutes together and to work through an example of what I mean by a web quest, focusing on the American English website and exploring it to find out content and other types of online resources that you can use. Okay, and again, if you weren't in my first website, in my first workshop, where I went over Google Forms, here's another good example of usage of Google Forms in your lesson, specifically online learning web quests like this. Okay, so you can make it look nice or you can make it look more simple. That's up to you. So what I want us to focus on, okay, and I'll zoom in here, make it a little bit bigger so we can kind of see. Okay, so how I want this process to work is I think actually, and Sultanat, maybe you can help me. Can you actually go ahead and put the link to American English website into the chat, the americanenglish.state.gov? Can you put that into the chat for everybody? Because we're going to use that website. So everything for this web quest is going to come from that website. So we're going to explore it together. Okay, so everybody can see on my screen, I have question number 1, question number 2. I actually have 10 questions here. I don't think we'll be able to get through maybe all of them, but we'll try to get through as many as possible. Okay, you can go ahead and you can actually, I'll provide you the link at the end to the web quest. So that way you guys can finish it on your own if we don't finish it, which most likely we probably won't. But let's go and work through it together. So everybody go ahead and pull up the American English website right now and take a look at the first question here. So basically those little kind of caret marks like that mean just kind of like different steps, things that you would do in this process to get to the question itself. So start with, so for instance, number 1, so start from American English website, go to resources, go to Teacher's Corner, and then here's the question. Which Teacher's Corner topic discusses about a social media platform for educators? Okay, so go ahead and find that out right now and put your answers into the chat, everybody. Okay, so let's maybe give you a minute or so for those of you to go ahead and navigate through the site and pull it up. But go ahead right away. As soon as you find the answer, go ahead and put it into the chat. And that way, Sultanat, maybe then you can take a look at the chat and see if what are the answers that people are producing.
I have a question, resource then. So you can see the first website, resources, Teacher's Corner, and the question is which Teacher's Corner topic discusses about a social media platform for educators? Twitter for educators?
Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So that way, so the very first one, kind of to cut to the chase here, since we're limited on time. Yes. So the very first answer is going to be Twitter for educators. Okay, so that was that's good. Again, Teachers Corner was one of the areas of content that I mentioned. To me, that's one of my favorite areas of content on the site again, because it provides great materials and advice for educators, for English language teachers. And it's always changing kind of every single month. So there's tons of always new topics. So keep going back always to find new stuff in the Teachers Corner section. Okay. So, okay, good. That was a good for a warm up here. Let's take a look at the second question here now. So again, go to American English website, go to resources, teaching the four skills. And I want you to see who is the author of Dialogues for Everyday Use. So who is that author? Go ahead and put that into the chat, please, as soon as you find the answer.
Let's see. We already have an answer. Julia Dobson, it's saying.
All right. Wow. You guys are really quick. You guys are doing good. So that's good. So, so not only are you taking an active role in your own learning process using this kind of inquiry-based type of tool here, a Webquest, it's producing results. Whether maybe some of you, you can find things faster than others, that's okay. But we're exploring this together as a group collectively. Okay. So, and the answer, yes, Julia M. Dobson. So good. So thank you very much, everybody. That's correct. Everyday use, dialogues. We are always looking for dialogues as English language teachers. We're just always looking for dialogues, especially authentic text, authentic dialogues. We're always looking for that. There's some great ones right there. Everyday use, meaning that it's practical. Okay. Let's take a look at the next question here. Okay. So the next question number 3. Okay.
I think answer already, but what I want to say, just what we will answer on the time. I mean, I think someone is already looking for the 4th question because we see it already.
Well, that's okay. Well, we're just going through here, so everybody try not to jump ahead here. Okay, so that is a good point. So try not to jump ahead. It makes it kind of confusing maybe for the answers for us collectively, those of us that maybe are new to American English. So that way, I'm just going to go ahead and maybe stop reading out the questions, and then yeah, we'll just kind of go through it here like this. So take a look here at the 3rd question. Okay.
The answer for the 3rd question is digital age pedagogy. I'm not sure how to pronounce, sorry. Easily enhance your teaching practice with technology.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that is correct. Yeah, so that way it is the digital age pedagogy article. Okay, here's the next one. Yeah, I know I can do that. Oops.
Technical problems.
Okay, next one.
The 5th, right? Or which?
Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. So so there we go. Maybe we'll do it this way here. So that way we can kind of, it's like holding the paper over the next question, or don't turn over your paper and look at the next question. So 6, okay.
The 6th one.
Mm-hmm. And so which one is it? Okay. So what issue in 2019?
Dear participants, we need to have an answer for the 6th one. Is what issue in 2019? That's on my classroom, Futures, a country from South America. This question. Who will be first? Yep, let's see.
Okay, so let's see here. Let me just kind of peek at the chat, make it smaller here. Okay. Yep, I'm seeing some answers here now. So that way is going to be which issue Yes, number one. I do see an answer here into there. So yes, it is number one. Okay. And what was that country? It was what? Colombia. Okay. So for issue number one, it was Colombia. Okay. All right. Let's just scroll down a little bit. There we go. Okay. So okay, number seven. Okay, it's number seven here. Focusing on social media now. Okay. Okay. Okay.
You're looking for Facebook site?
Yeah.
American English for Educators Facebook page.
Okay. So actually, so which one is designed for English language learners? So it's specifically because there is more than one of them. Okay. Okay.
Educators.
Okay. Not the educator's one, but what is the other one? It's going to be American English.
At State
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, at state. Okay, at state. Correct. So again, so I mentioned that one before in the beginning. So again, there's different social media channels. So again, I mentioned about the YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe it. Like the content there, but also the two Facebook sites. There's one for educators, American English for Educators, and that's where you can find the live webinars that are shown and a lot of content specifically for and discussions for teachers of English language. The other one is going to be the American English at State, which is more for English language learners in general. We could still use it as teachers, but again, so there's two different ones. Just want to make sure that people were aware of that. But again, go out there, like and follow both of the sites as well too. Let's take a look. I just got a couple more questions here. Let's see here. So here is the question number 8. Okay, so question number 8. Let's take a look here at the chat. Okay. Going back to Teacher's Corner again.
Yeah. Or trends.
Okay.
Let's list these 4 trends.
Okay. So let's take a look here. So question number 8, everybody. So again, American English website, resources, Teacher's Corner. Okay. We're looking for something about what are the 4 trends discussed in the Teacher's Corner topic that focuses on educational trends and issues. Here
we
go.
have an
Yeah, starting to see some answers.
Trend number 1 is 21st century skills. Trends number 2, bring your own device. Trends number 3, digital game-based learning. And trends number 4 is makerspaces.
Okay, yeah. So that is the correct answer. So yes, that way. So there was 4 different trends specifically in that one, and those were the trends. Those were actually I really actually enjoyed that specific Teacher's Corner. Actually, I did actually a task actually for some of my undergraduate students at the university using that one. So that was a great one. Okay. All right, let's see here. Let's move a little bit more further down. Let's get to this question number 9. Okay, so question number 9. Okay. Comics for language learning. Okay, so let's take a look. Comics for language learning. Title of the second instructional article. Okay, let's see if we can figure this one out here.
Go to the resources at Comics for Language Learning. The answer is forum using comic strips in language classes.
Okay, so that way, if you go ahead, yeah, so that way, so trying to look here, yeah, let's see, forum, yeah, okay, so that way, so forum using comic strips in language classroom is correct. So that was the correct answer. So again, there was different ones, or they have a group of some instructional articles for basically using comics. And yeah, so the second one, again, there's different ones, but yeah, that was specifically the second one. So good. I think everybody found that one. Comics, I've seen a lot of trends and things, at different conferences, international conferences, where comics, are really such a great thing to use and integrate into your lessons. So I've seen a lot of great projects, a lot of things out there for project-based learning, for engaging learners in designing and developing and creating these little mini comic strips or books. So again, so that's a great idea. And you can find out a little bit more about how to maybe do something like that through reading like those articles. Okay. And now the very last question here, because we're getting close to running out of time. The very last one, you're going to need to work a little harder to find this one potentially. This is the one I mentioned before about the new open site. Okay, so that way, so for you're going to go to resources and to MOOCs, but I'm going to need you to click on the link that's going to redirect you to a different site. And then this is going to be just so I know that you guys can find where there can be potential MOOCs. Okay, so what MOOC specifically started in October of this year, and then it ends next year in March. Okay, someone can just put out what is that one. Okay.
Yes, and this MOOC is English for Media Literacy.
Okay.
We already have it in the chat.
Okay. Good. So yeah, so some of us are really good. I can tell that some of us may be quite familiar with the site. So that's great. I mean, there is so much stuff. The MOOCs is definitely something now with our current environment. It's something that I've encouraged a lot of my learners, my undergraduate, my graduate students, to participate in MOOCs. Okay. So again, going forward, there are some great opportunities for MOOCs through open. Okay, so that was please, I wish I had more time to kind of go through and explain all these different sites and all these great things, but at least you know where you can find potentially MOOCs for your future development, maybe even during the holiday break coming up here at the end of the year. Great time maybe to go ahead and sign up for a MOOC and to participate in one. Okay. All right. So that was a Webquest. Okay, so let me kind of go back to my PowerPoint here, and like I said, I will share the link for those of you that maybe couldn't finish it. So let me actually go ahead and just put that into the chat here. Okay, to everybody. All right. Okay. All right. So again, so like I promised, for those of you that maybe took a little bit more time to go through the questions, I went ahead and shared the link into the chat for this specific Webquest. So this Google form. So now you have it, and you can finish it at home later on at your own pace and leisure. Maybe explore things a little bit more deeper if you wanted to. Okay, let me go ahead and pull up here something else as well. Give me a moment. Okay, so let me share my screen again here. Okay, oops. All right, make it full screen. Okay, there we go. Sultanat, can you see the 321 exit ticket slide? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, everybody. So that way, because we have just a few more minutes left, so I want to just kind of wrap things up here. So here, so we've covered a lot of stuff. I've thrown a lot at you. Actually, I'm sorry, there's a little bit of a typo here on the screen. The date is wrong, okay, but this one is specifically for today's date, okay? The link works, it's correct. Let me go and put the link into the chat. Just a simple 321 exit ticket for today's session, the 26th, focusing on American English online resources. Okay, let me go ahead and put it into the chat for everybody right now. Okay, everyone here, okay. All right, it is coming through. There we go. Okay, so I did go ahead and put the link into the chat. So again, ignore the information about it being on Miro. Sorry, a typo. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was looking at the schedule and I did something wrong. But again, the link works. It goes to today's content for that survey. Please fill it out, provide some feedback. It will really help us going forward in me helping to develop what's content is best, seeing maybe what you didn't know before, what you learned, maybe what kind of questions you still have about American English resources. And this will help me for future sessions as well, okay? So not sure, let me see if you guys can see here. One last thing, my email address, let me just full screen again so everybody can kind of see, make it a little easier for everyone. I just really want to thank everybody for your time. Again, you know, it was a short period of time. I threw a lot of information at you, but I hope that you were able to pick something up. Please feel free to reach out to me with any kind of questions you have. You can reach me at august.garnsey@gmail.com. Anytime, send me a question via email and I'll be glad to address it. Maybe there's something that you're wondering about American English online resources, and I'd be glad to answer that question as the Virtual English Language Fellow for the U.S. Department of State's English Language Programs here in Nur Sultan. It'd be my pleasure to help share these resources with you to know how you can practically apply certain things to certain lessons or topics or themes, you know, questions that you might have. Okay, so again, so thank you everybody for that. Sultanat, did you have maybe anything else that you wanted to share with the group?
I want to add something. As I promised before, we will send you a presentation personally by email. And I also would like to mention again about our YouTube channel, Kazakhstan American Corners. I will show you. We already have here like 2 videos from the previous meeting, from the previous sessions. You can see it if you did not before, or you want to like repeat it. So how you will find it? Our page called Kazakhstan American Corners. If you wanna write like American Corners, it's gonna be automatically Kazakhstan. You can find it right there. That's all from my side. Oh my God, almost 300 people, 300 participants. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please let us know by the email or in our social media. Again, it's very important to follow us in Instagram and Facebook, VK, because sometimes it could be something wrong. Maybe you type your email wrong in registration form and you will not get link for the Zoom, but you can get it from our social media. So please follow us for that. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for your time. All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.